Giggles podcast. This is just how we start. This is the start of the episode.
You forgot it last time.
So. No, I didn't. I remembered.
You did.
I was slow to the uptake, but I remembered. I saw you do it, and then I remembered.
All right. Okay. Fair.
So, today's episode, along the interwebs, I come across someone, I can't even remember who it was, and they were having a bit of a rant.
Name and shame.
We don't do
Name
that
and
here.
shame.
We do that off air. So we don't get in trouble.
Yet.
So, yeah, until we get way more confident.
Yeah.
So I seen someone was having a little bit of a rant and ramble about CrossFit being a cult. And I thought that that'd be a cool little discussion topic that we can see where this conversation goes. So we don't really, this is completely off script. We have no idea what we're going to talk about today, but we are starting the conversation with CrossFit being a cult. So that was the topic that someone was talking about. They were saying, oh, CrossFit's such a cult. And they were saying it in a negative context. They're like, yeah, it's such a cult, blah, 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 blah. And then I kind of tuned out to the video because I didn't want to listen to what they were saying. Because I knew that I instantly got defensive and I was like, you, how dare you talk bad about CrossFit? But I do agree that CrossFit is a cult. But in a good context. I've even, on the old Googled up what the actual definition of a cult is. And one of the definitions is a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular thing. So, with that being the context of what a cult is, 100% CrossFit's a cult. Because I remember when I started CrossFit, especially me, the early days of CrossFit, that's all I talked about. Was like, oh, I did this workout the other day, and blah, 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 and then I just talk about CrossFit for the next 2 hours. And it got to the point where everyone was like, can you just shut up? I was the stereotypical, oh, you didn't know Kieran did CrossFit? Don't worry, he'll tell you. That was me.
It's like people start messaging, hey, Eb, can you not bring KPow to this party?
Yeah, we don't want to hear about CrossFit anymore. That's all we heard about for months on end. But I brought it down. I dialed it back.
Have you? Really?
Not really.
Yeah, I was like, you've expanded into like 2 or 3 other areas, and that's it.
I decided to start a podcast about how much I love CrossFit.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll talk about other things, but mainly it will be CrossFit.
Mainly CrossFit.
Yeah.
So maybe I haven't dialed it back. Started a
I
business
would
about
say...
CrossFit. Started a podcast about CrossFit.
CrossFit. He tries to do CrossFit.
Tries being the key word in that sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I haven't dialed it back.
Maybe. Why should you?
Exactly.
Or maybe that could be part of this conversation.
Such a strong
as well.
admiration for it. Why would I stop?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on CrossFit being a cult?
I would say I have to tread very lightly here with how I say this. But I would say that CrossFit is a cult, but I would say nearly everything is a cult. So bodybuilders call CrossFitters cultists, but bodybuilders have an excessive fascination with the aesthetics of a body, and that's fine. I think veganism is a cult.
There's heaps. There's heaps of cults.
I think
out
vegetarianism is
there.
definitely a cult. Yeah. I would say anything, but I think even if you look at that definition again in Google, the definition of a cult as well, also that there's a leader that is still alive. Yeah, it has something to do with that. I remember looking up this ages ago, and this is why I'm trying to tread lightly. And so I would see people.
So there's a few different
thinking negatively of a cult. Is there?
Yeah.
But negatively of a cult purely just because you're praising someone or something that might take over your life. But what if that one thing is a good thing?
That's my argument.
Yeah. That would be my only argument as well. So when people are like, oh, I only do bodybuilding, I'm like, awesome. You're off the couch. I don't really care what you do as long as you're not sitting on the couch.
You move.
Yeah. Can you hear my kid in the background?
Yeah, a little bit.
I apologise to everyone else.
It's fine.
Yeah, I think anything that gets
Yeah,
you off the couch and actually
also
gets you
argue
moving
that,
more healthy
like,
in a positive way
it's a
and has
good
no
thing.
negative
So, yes, it's a
detrimental
cult.
effects to you shouldn't really be seen as a negative way in a cult, but should just be a cool thing that you're doing. Now, if you can't stop talking about it, maybe that's just either you need to change or you need to change your circle, so that way everyone else around you is talking about it, and then you're normal, so it's fine.
Yeah, yep, 100%. Because I'd say the same thing. Like, you put it into a different context. So let's go with something that is negative. I don't think you would really. I don't know how you would have the context of like being an alcoholic as a cult. But let's hypothetically say that there's something there that exists. That there's a group of people, and that's like they have the same sort of cultism towards a negative trait or a negative trend or a negative something, like drinking excessively to the point where you're blacking out every single night. That's obviously not a positive effect on your life. Whereas if you go the other
addiction.
way, exactly, that's the word I was looking for. But then if you go into, well, even if you use like you're addicted to CrossFit or like CrossFit being a cult, the effects that you get from it are positive. You're healthier. You've got like a more sound state of mind. You're challenging yourself in things that are gonna benefit you from a life perspective as well. So like, I don't see the harm in it. I see the benefit. Sorry, but yeah, a little bit of a mix up there. But yeah, I reckon that
there we go.
It is a cult in a good context. So old mate that was bad mouthing CrossFit, how dare you? Yeah, he can.
To be honest though, if you went back to like the start of CrossFit, and even when like CrossFit started like booming, I think that's pretty much when we started getting involved in it. It was a lot. Like it was so much though. Like people were just, that's all they would talk about. It's all they would do. And the whole thing was like, oh, your warm up, my warm up is your workout and everything. I think that's where people started calling it a cult in a negative way, because CrossFitters just came out thinking they were the best. And like, while the statement of fittest on earth can be true according to what they record, there's no use in just putting down everyone else's sport. Just being like, no, we're fitter than you. Well, what are you measuring it? So
we're
shut
better
the hell
than
up.
you, and we know it.
Why'd you put an American accent on?
Yeah, I was just part of the quote. It was the quote. No,
okay.
For those of you who don't know, I'm referencing dodgeball there. It's talking about the Globo.
Are you really though?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I'll even get the clip up if I have to.
You should actually. That'd be great.
I should. We'll edit it in there.
Yeah, I think CrossFitters just need to... No, you should try that. That'd be good.
I'll try. I don't know if my editing skills are that good, but we'll give it a go.
It might ruin the whole episode, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone will still enjoy that. But yeah, I think I don't appreciate anyone that kind of says to others like, oh, you do fit stop, or you do F45, or you do bodybuilding, you do CrossFit, you do calisthenics and everything, and then just talk and like just throwing crap at them and everything. I think everyone's just got to respect each other. However, I also think you need to respect what they're good at. So like CrossFitters can, like, I give heaps of crap to dudes that do calisthenics because they're amazing at what they do. But like, bruh, put some shorts on. Let us see the quads. Yeah. Let me see them. Oh, that's right. And so
they don't exist.
Yeah. So when calisthenics give like CrossFitters crap, I'm like, hang on, like different kind of sport. Like, yeah, we do our pull-ups and muscle-ups different to you, but we can actually squat body weight for multiple reps. Like, like settle down. Heaps of calories are gonna hurt. You know, heaps as in heaps. Actually, listen to this, but yeah.
But it's like you're kind of getting to the point where like you're almost arguing over the same end result. Because like if you look at it very plain black and white, everyone that's doing fitness for whatever reason, there's going to be some fanatics that are trying to get very particular results from the particular sport that they're doing. But for the majority of people, they're looking to be a little bit fitter, a little bit healthier, and just feel better. So the argument of, oh, well, bodybuilding's better, or CrossFit's better, or like fucking playing footy's better, or like you're arguing over the same thing. Like you're arguing that, oh, no, my movement's better than your movement, but it's like movement in itself is the best thing.
It's better than no movement.
Yeah. So I don't see the point in, the argument, like on a very basic level, the argument's kind of silly. As long as everyone's moving and doing something that is beneficial for your health and for your longevity, then you're just being picky when you go, ooh, CrossFit's better. But that being said, CrossFit is better. Just thought I'd get that in it.
Again, I think if you want to go to like the elite side of things, it just depends on what you love. Like I could never, ever. I hate saying never ever actually. So I'll take that back. But I am very strongly opinionated of the fact that I would never get on stage in a little like banana string undies and with a fake tan and pose.
I'm sure all the ladies would love to see that,
and not the embarrassment side of things or anything. I'm sure it'd be more dudes.
Yeah.
But it's just not something that fascinates me in the fact of I don't find that a thrill. Whereas getting on the comp floor, getting that heart rate up, dying, I find that a massive thrill. But I find a thrill in like all things that like bring that like high heart rate kind of thing. Like put me on a mountain bike and I'll be frothing on it. Like it's just different passions really.
But like you were saying before, it goes back to like the respect side of things. Like I can respect someone that's going on stage and someone that's doing a bodybuilding show because I know how much it sucks to be disciplined to the top degree with your food, and that's what you have to do to get to the point where you're on stage doing a bodybuilding show. So I can respect the effort and the like time and effort that gets put into doing that. That just like it's not for me either. That's not something that I would do, but I can respect how hard you worked to do what you're doing. So like it's kind of like you kind of expect the same sort of respect back. If we're working our asses off to do what we're doing on the comp floor, it might not be what you want to do. It might not be your thing, but you at least show the respect because we worked our asses off to do that and to showcase it. So it's the same.
Yeah, and like just CrossFit's better anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we say that all the time. We're going to keep throwing that point across. We'll convert one person.
Yeah. That's right. But if you don't like it, you can message us.
That goes into, because if you can't tell, heavily support CrossFit. And I know that there's a few, surprise. There's a few gyms, I'm not going to like call anyone out or whatever. This will sound like I'm calling people out, but I'm not thinking of one particular person or gym or anything. But I know that there's gyms out there that do CrossFit. They train CrossFit. They use the CrossFit methodology. They compete in all of the CrossFit comps, but they are strength and conditioning gyms. And I personally I can see why people do it because essentially you don't really get much from the affiliate that you pay for to be a CrossFit gym. But I just see it as like, well, you're doing all of it regardless. Like you may as well, the last little chip, put it in and be like 100% part of the community because you're doing the comps anyway. And then I can see like why some gyms don't do it because the word CrossFit puts off some people from joining a gym, whereas a strength and conditioning or just having a brand there, it's not quite as intimidating. But I think that that's more of a miseducation or an uneducation on what CrossFit actually is, because a lot of them compete and do CrossFit in their strength and conditioning gyms. So it's not the fact that people are scared to do CrossFit, they're just scared of the name CrossFit. So it's like, well, maybe we need to teach people that CrossFit isn't this big fucking scary thing that you're going to be doing the same thing as what you see the guys in the games doing when you go into a local gym. When you go into your CrossFit box, that's not what you're going to do.
I agree. I think, because, from being a previous owner of affiliate, we almost unaffiliated at one point as well, because it's like $5,000 to $6,000 Australian a year. Which is like for some gyms that's a month or more of leasing for their facility. So it's a lot of money for what you don't get anything from. Like, wow, you get your pin on a CrossFit.com maps, so people have to go to the CrossFit website to find you anyway, which they're probably not going to do. They'll probably just write CrossFit in my area.
Yeah.
And then you get a Christmas card that's pre-printed and pre-signed.
That is an expensive card.
I know, yeah. That was the joke. Everyone's like, sweet, and paying another $6,000 for a Christmas card. And then they've gotten way better. Like, they do marketing and everything like that now. They market a lot better, which is awesome. But it's still like, and I think that's why Greg Glassman didn't like the games, is because he was just like, man, this promotes the wrong thing that I want. He's like, he loved the games. He used to attend the games, and he's like, I hate it now because it doesn't represent what I wanted at the start. Now, I don't think his body image represents what he wanted at the start either. So that's a whole different conversation. That's a what?
I said that's a fair statement. Because he's like,
it is though.
Do what I say, not what I do.
Yeah, it's like, don't eat sugar, but look at my belly.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Stay away from the Coca-Cola that you're trying to sue. Like, yeah. Yeah, so I can see why they don't want to affiliate. I can also see, like, you get, like, the, we'll just say, like, the franchise side of things, like the Fit Stops and all that stuff. Why they wouldn't, because they probably get more from their franchise name than they do from CrossFit.
Yeah.
However, we decided to stay on and try and improve our marketing side of that. But it's so cliche when you see it. And I don't mean to hate on people that do it, because I don't know how else to do it either. But how do you market besides the sole fact of, like, hey, what you see on YouTube is not what you see in our gym. This is a regular day person compared to an elite athlete. Like, don't be scared of CrossFit because we're all the same as you. Like, it's all the same messaging. I feel like there needs to be more creative ways to do it without, again, getting back to our topic of not being cultish. But how? Like, how do you get that across to someone? Because we used to get it all the time. Be like, I'm so scared of CrossFit. We're like, just come in. That's what we had to do. We're like, just come in. See how normal we are. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean it in a good way of, like, we're normal. Not everyone has 17 packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you.
I was going to say, just KPow.
No. No. But yeah, it's, and that's, so the gym that I'm training at the moment, Tony he's exactly, that's what he does. Someone will come in and they'll be like inquiring about coming in and doing a session and whatnot, and he's like, nah, don't want you to sign anything, don't want you to do, and come in, do a class. Come and do a class. Yeah. Just do a class. Do one class and then let's have a chat. Come in and train it, see how you feel, see if you like the environment, see what it's actually about, and then let's have a chat. Don't make a decision now based on like looking at what everybody else is doing. Come in, experience it, and then make a decision. Which is, it's one of the kids in the car.
Yep.
I'll just wait for this how long.
It'll probably happen again, so sorry guys. Anyways, with Tony, just getting people to come in, experience it. Yeah,
and like you end up getting way more people actually signing up, and because like it's the experience that people want, right? That's you want to, and it works. So I think that'd be a way. I don't know how you'd market that on your socials or Facebook. I don't know. Yeah.
But maybe that's it. Just being as simple as possible and be like, hey, like you've heard CrossFit's a cult. You've probably seen the CrossFit Games because that's all when you YouTube CrossFit, that's what comes up.
Yeah.
As much as CrossFit HQ try and change that algorithm, that's not changing that algorithm. Like it's going to take a hell of a lot more work for them to do it. Maybe they should spend that $6,000 per gym to actually do that. But
see, like I view the games content and all the stuff that's like not pushed by CrossFit, but like that's exactly what you're saying. Like is in the algorithm. It's all like games stuff. It's all the Rogue Invitational. It's all the high end, like top tier competitors that we're seeing. I think that's like motivating as hell. Whether that's just the way that I look at it, but I'm like, I feel like that's going to bring more people into CrossFit than if you were trying to showcase the normal kind of gym. I don't know whether that's just the way that I view, like, because I froth on, that's so motivating, hell yeah, let's go, woo. Whereas like for a lot of the like general kind of population, people that are just looking to get a little bit of movement in and just trying to be a bit healthier, that's probably not what's going to motivate them. So
yeah, I think it'll catch their eye.
yeah,
But we've had a lot of people. I even have some PT clients that have like, because you get to chat to them more, I guess, with a one-on-one kind of thing. And that I legit actually back in Perth, I had a lady who was fit. Like she wasn't like CrossFit Games level fit, but she could get up, and if she wanted to run 5K, she could run 5K. Like she was fit, and so. And I literally had to like hold her hand after chatting to her to bring her through the office into the gym when there was no class happening. It's like, the class hasn't started. You don't need to be scared yet. And so I just think some people are very self-conscious, super duper self-conscious. I think there was like the percentage a few years ago in WA at least. I remember talking to Brendo about it. He was saying there's like 18% of WA have a membership, and of that it was like 30% of the 18% are the only ones that regularly use the gym.
Yeah,
some numbers
crazy.
like that. Like it was dismal.
It's not.
And
enough.
I was like, man, what is it? And he's like, people either don't know about fitness, they don't know the importance of it, or they're too scared to walk into a gym because of that, which blows my mind. But at the same time, and this is might sound arrogant in saying that, like, we're obviously just, and the people that go to the gym like without any issues probably are just lucky to kind of have that headspace where they just don't give a fuck. Like they're just like, yep, I'm going in, I want to do what I want to do, and what other people think of me, like whatever. Like I still think that stuff, but then at the same time I'm like, I'm just going to be better than them one day. Maybe I won't, but I'm going to try.
But for a lot of people, like, think if that's how they're feeling before they're going into a gym, whether that's a CrossFit gym or not, the vast majority of the people that are in the gym are worried about themselves, not the person next to them. When you go into a CrossFit class, I think this is where the community makes a massive difference. Is you're all doing the same workout, you all know how bad it's going to suck, you all go through the same like feelings physically and emotionally through the session, that it's like this shared kind of, we just went through this together, so it kind of builds a little bit more of a bond between, and that's where the community comes from. So I feel like it's like going back to what I was saying before, it's the experience of it, everyone high-fiving at the end of the class, like, well done, like we just smashed that workout, and everyone's on the same level, everyone's there for the same reason. Doesn't matter if you come first or last. There's a lot less ego in CrossFit. May not look like it on social media. There's a lot less ego in a CrossFit class than what I would say there is in like a Globo gym, because everyone's like,
I would
Whereas at CrossFit, like everyone is like, yeah, and like you see it all the time. Is like everyone gets around the person that's last to finish and cheers them on and supports them through the workout. You don't get that at like a normal gym. That's the cult coming out.
Yeah, that's the good cult. Yeah. I would 100% agree, man. Like, who was I talking to? As if I'm going to say their name anyway, but someone I was talking to in our gym and just chatting to them. They're fairly new, and I was just saying how, like, usually it's very rare to find the same kind of ego that you find in like a Globo gym. So Globo gym, for those that don't actually know, is like any gym like that's more based around, like, they've got heaps of machines, they've got heaps of treadmills and all that stuff.
Mirrors,
and if you still don't know, go watch Dodgeball.
Mirrors everywhere.
just watch Dodgeball.
Yeah,
and
we're better than you, and we know it.
Yeah, we know it. Yeah.
Another quote. The same quote.
Yeah, the same one. You need to bring it up.
Yeah, I need to.
So you'll see, I would say you still see egos, but different egos, because like, and we can use even like the CrossFit Games as an example. When Medeiros won last year, I don't think he won one event. So he can't be stuck up enough to be like, I'm the best at everything.
Didn't he?
I don't think he won one event at all.
Or was that the first year
that
he won the last event? I think that was the first year that he won.
Maybe the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him not winning an event one year, and I was like, whoa. And so that in itself, like, you're always going to get one guy that comes in and lifts more than you. You're always going to get one girl that comes in and just dusts you on the run. There's always going to be, like, most CrossFitters can't swim, so there's always just one person that actually swam when they were growing up, and they'll be better than everyone. And I really like that, because you might come last and be the one getting cheered for one day, and then the next day you've smoked the workout because it's your kind of wheelhouse, and you're cheering for someone else, maybe the same person that cheered for you the day before. And that's when I think it's cool, because you know that everyone's got their backs. In a gym that doesn't have that, I would say that's the onus of the gym owner or the coaches, that they need to develop that more.
Yeah.
Because some people don't like that, and that's fine.
Yeah. I've experienced that as well. Certain people don't like to be cheered on at the end of a workout, and that's like they're not comfortable with that. But like you can establish that quite easily within your community. People understand that, people know that, and they don't surround that person and overwhelm them. But like, yeah, that community that you get from CrossFit is second to none.
It really is good.
Yeah. You don't get that in.
I think that's why a lot of rugby boys. I'm just going to keep cutting you off. Sorry, man. I think a lot of the rugby boys love CrossFit is because they've come from like this brotherhood, and then they've come into like CrossFit, and like they've refound that kind of that brotherhood again. And a lot of them obviously come together. But the fact that you can cheer together, you do team workouts together, like all that stuff. I think that's why it draws a lot of people. Not just rugby, like soccer, footy. AFL. I'm in Queensland now. And so I just think that community drives it huge. And then, everyone's like, oh, it's a cult. And it's like, well, try it out first. Like, literally just try it. If you're in a team before, you're going to love CrossFit now. It's awesome. Like, be a part of the cult. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Be a part of any cult that keeps you off the couch.
Join our cult!
Yeah. There's a movement that's like,
one of us, one of us, one of us. Yeah.
But really.
All right. Well, on that note, such a positive way to finish the episode. Yeah. Thanks again for listening. Sam, as always, if you've got any questions, hit us up. Either comments on YouTube or add. I don't know how it works on Spotify. It's a comment. It's kind of like a comment on Spotify. YouTube, Spotify. Hit us up in the DMs on Instagram as well. As always, it's been a pleasure. We will see you next week. Ciao.
Sounds good.
Peace.